G'day, Steve Morgan here, Australian Bass Tournaments, and we have finished the Bassman round of the 13Fishing Bass Pro Series here on the Clarence River in Grafton, New South Wales. The river fished awesome on the weekend, and I've got Kelvin Hatton with me, who won the non-boaters division. Kelvin, here is your magic score block. It says you caught 6.515 kilos on day one, and then followed it up with 4.585 today to get 11.1 kilos. This bass fishing's all right, isn't it?
It sure is, I've never ever fished the rivers on the coast at all.
Really?
This is the first time I've ever been here, and actually caught my first flathead as well.
What about those? What about this water going up and down, tides? Have you seen those before?
No, I haven't. Not at all. No, that's a bit different and changes the way you fish on either end of the river.
Now, take us through your weekend. By that weight there, it looks like you were probably fishing with Brian Everingham on the first day, way up the top of the river. Take us through that day. What did you do?
Well, we went straight to the bridge pylons and through some jig baits around the bottom of the pylons.
Yep.
And I just stuck to the surface lures. I threw a whopper plopper.
Yes.
And which paid off. I put in a 50-metre cast on the other side of the bridge, and second wind, whack. You got a really good bass.
Yep.
And
that's a trick you've bought from down Glenbourne or somewhere like that?
Yes, it is. It's from out of the dams. We use whopper ploppers all the time. Yep. And that's all I've ever known.
Yep.
So we used it.
Show us the lure you got there. You've got the whopper. That was the one you were using today. Tell us about it.
Not today. That's the one I used yesterday.
Yep.
And it's a little bit longer than normal whopper ploppers, but the big fish like it.
And your retrieve for that is just a slow roll, plop it across the top?
Yep. Just a slow roll. That's all it is. Just enough just to get it working.
Awesome. And that's the same technique in the river as to your dams back home?
Yes, it is. Yep. The same technique. It is totally different here. And we also went to spinnerbaits then as well. Yep. We had a bit of a plan. Brian was going to stick with the jigs, which paid off. He was just getting in one after the other, but the big ones were came off the whopper plopper and the spinnerbait.
Now let's have a look at the spinnerbait you got here. Tell us about that one there. It looks like a little locally made one.
No, it's actually a Bassman spinnerbait.
Yep.
I put a stinger hook on it as well.
Yep.
The one I used yesterday was actually a Carl's Compact, but I lost it. Yep. But I pulled another really good one off on that one. But we had to fish very deep with it.
Awesome.
Have it on the bottom all the time.
So they're the naming sponsor of this round. If you use the naming sponsor's product, you do pretty well, don't you?
That's right. Yep.
Tell us about your day two. You got 4.585 kilos today fishing with Craig Simmons. He's been fishing these tournaments for 20 years, and you had a good day in the water with him as well.
I had a really good day with Craig. We've caught quite a few fish. I was all geared up this morning to fish the same as I did up the river. Got down the river and it was totally different. Yep. Had to suddenly start changing over to soft plastics, and that's what we caught them on today.
Awesome. So have you got one of those here to have a look at? Let's have a look at that little fella. It's a little small plastic. Do you know what sort it is?
Yes, it's a 2.5-inch Kitech. The jig heads are an 1/8 ounce because we tried the 1/4 ounce ones, but the fish would not grab them. As soon as we went to the smaller one, we were getting fish.
And you've got that on a Daiwa and 13 rods combo there. That looks like it's seen a bit of action, that the old 13 Omen.
That's right, yeah. It was probably one of the original ones, is it? I think. Yeah.
Awesome, mate. So that is a concoction of sponsors' product there from head to toe. And how many fish did you catch with Simo today?
The reel was gifted to me from the son-in-law.
Oh, really?
We probably would have caught nearly 20-odd fish today. We had sort of a couple each in the live well earlier on, and we went all day. We had a 37 in there, which was our smallest one. Yep. And then just before we came back, we pulled out a 40 to put with it.
So this tournament fishing, you've won this event, which means you've instantly qualified for the grand final, which is going to be up on the Richmond River. You're going to be there with bells on?
I'll try to be, yes. I'm looking forward to it.
You travelled up with some of the guys from down the Hunter Valley way, Mitch Cone and the guys? Narrabri.
Narrabri with Mitch Cone and Timmy Oakley and Josh Seymour.
And so you've had a good time, like apart from the fishing, you've had a great weekend fishing. It's just a good time at the tournaments as well with some good fishing mates.
Oh, I really loved it. I'd recommend it to anyone. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, there you go. A great winner of the non-boater division. He used the Bassman product, he used the whopper ploppers, and he used the Keytex to get the job done. Well done, Kelvin Hatton. I am going to give you this little scorecard here as your final little souvenir from a great weekend away. Congratulations.
Thanks very much.